Hey everyone, and welcome back to another one of these Wampa's Lair podcast discussion videos. I am Jason Hunt, one of your co-hosts for the Wampa's Lair podcast. If you didn't already know that, I don't know why you're watching this video, although it could have been shared. What am I saying? Sorry. Welcome to this video. It's going to be posted on the Wampa's Lair Facebook page. That's why I need to stop talking. Anyways, on to the subject at hand. Today I want to be talking about a little something that I started thinking about yesterday, last night, and a little bit this afternoon, and that's sort of the thing of why do we still like Star Wars? What is it? And most of us, if you're like me, were introduced to Star Wars at a much earlier age. You know, I was 7 when the special editions came out and was introduced to Star Wars. Now I'm 23. That's 16 years later, and you know, it's still my favorite movie. I have a podcast devoted to it. I went to Star Wars Celebration 6, you know, on my own dime, practically. Oh, I take that back. I had some generous parents that helped out. And then one of my big dreams and goals is something, you know, I want to be involved with a Star Wars project, you know, as a voice actor for the Clone Wars, maybe, or involved with the live-action series whenever they make it, or get on to Star Wars Detours, you know, another new TV show, something like that. Be involved some way in some official capacity with Star Wars. And why is that? Why do so many of us just want to be a part of this Star Wars universe still? And I can think of a couple of reasons. One is the story is completely timeless. It's a modern myth. And mythologies have been around, you know, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I can't say exactly when, because I don't remember when the first myth. I mean, you know, a lot of ancient cultures had, you know, what they would call a creation myth, where, you know, they would tell you how the world was created. You know, a lot of cultures had like these weird, like, fish gods, or, you know, bird gods that, you know, somehow made, you know, their civilization, and how the world began. And, you know, so myths have been around since, you know, the beginning of storytelling, you know, how to explain, you know, how we got here. And so when you have Star Wars and you make that a modern myth, in the sense that the story that it tells, the key components of the story, are very, very timeless. You know, it's updated, and it's new, and it's got some really interesting, you know, characters and locations and things like that. So that's one reason. And I hope this is getting picked up, because I'm staying a little bit farther away from my mic than normal. But another reason, and this is just something from my opinion, my perspective, is it's got some really cool characters, really interesting characters, you know, and Star Wars is full of these iconic characters, characters that, you know, because of the way they look, the way they act, they just grab your attention instantly, and they have, you know, great moments, great dialogue, great action sequences, or whatever. And you've got characters, obviously, like, you know, Darth Vader, Yoda, Darth Maul, who made an instant impression, even though he said only 2 lines of dialogue in the entire film. And then, of course, you got, you know, 2 of my personal favorites here. You got C-3PO and R2-D2. Anyways, you know, these characters are so iconic and so creative in the way that they're portrayed, and the way that a lot of times they're just collaborated together, you know, with the director and the actors and the story, the way that all comes together to give you some very, very awesome and interesting characters, which you know, could tie back into the myth aspect. But then, of course, you got the tech aspect. And, of course, back in the 70s and 80s, when Star Wars was first coming out, the technology displayed in the films was just out of this world. It was, you know, light years ahead of anything else, if you'll forgive a really bad pun. But, and it's just the creativity of the technology gives people, you know, the drive and the imagination to want to pursue that technology in order to make things become real. You know, one of the things I would love to have for myself is a real working lightsaber. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Lightsabers are awesome. That's the coolest technology in Star Wars, in my opinion. But of course, you've got, starships. You've got doors that, whoosh up and down. I mean, we kind of got that too. You got automatic doors. I mean, who hasn't gone to an automatic door and waved their hand to make it open? It's almost habit for me now. And then you've got droids. I mean, I just showed you R2 and 3PO. I mean, we've made so many advances in robot technology, but we still haven't gotten close enough to, we haven't gotten that close to what, those droids could be. And there's, just all sorts of great technological advances, and I know I'm blanking on a few, but, not just the weaponry, but just the awesome ideas that span out of, simple things. I saw a special one time, I think on Discovery Channel, where someone was trying to make, a plasma window or something to that effect because of the big, wide windows that you see on the starships. And they were talking about how it would have to be reinforced and how it would have to be made out of something that they don't have, they don't have yet, because the vacuum of space would break glass, break the plexiglass or whatever, and so they were trying to make the window out of plasma. And they had made one that was about, maybe this big out of plasma, and they were wanting to work and to be able to make it bigger so they could get those big, wide open windows like you would see, on the Star Destroyers, that, just the entire bridge is almost all windows. And they want to be able to do that. But they don't have the technology for that yet, and the technology that they do have doesn't fit in anything that's relatively, small enough to fly. So, it's things like that that make people still cling to Star Wars. And not only that, but they keep adding to it. They keep making new stuff to add to it. The expanded universe has been going, since the mid-90s. For the most part. I mean, the modern expanded universe has been going since the mid-90s, and hasn't slowed down much at all, if at any. With the novels and the comics, and now we got video games added to that. And of course now you have the Clone Wars, which is an awesome TV series. And if you are not watching it, you should be, because Season 5 is going to be fantastic. The first 2 episodes were awesome. And now we know we have Star Wars Detours, which is this, little show, comedy, that's based much around the comic aspect of Star Wars, to poke fun at something. I mean, not in a negative or mean way, but it's just something that, make you laugh, especially those of us that are huge fans and know all the inside jokes and stuff. It's going to be hilarious. I can't wait for that to come out, and hopefully we will still get a live-action TV series down the road, and that would be amazing too. So, I mean, they keep coming out with new things to add to it, to keep your attention, to get you re-engaged, and so that's another cool thing. I mean, they're definitely, the marketing side of Star Wars is not slowing down at all, and so those are just a few reasons why I think we still like Star Wars. But I want to hear from you guys. What are the reasons why you still like Star Wars if you're, like me and have been exposed to it, at an early age, whether or not you're in your 80s or you're 8 or whatever. But just why? Why do you like it? I mean, we all know you do. But what's the reason why it's still with you? So leave that in the comments below. Share the video. I want to get the discussion going, over a wider group of people than just our Facebook page. So, get ready. As of this recording, we will be recording a new episode this Friday. It's going to be about our favorite Expanded Universe characters. So if you want to let us know who some of your favorite Expanded Universe characters are, go ahead and find the post that's got... go ahead and post that on our wall. Also, we have a fun little duel for our next episode, little matchup. Jawas versus Ugnaughts, who would win in a, duel, battle to the death or whatever. Find the picture below, and add your comment there for that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this episode a lot. I just gotta figure out all the characters I want to put on my list, and what order to put them. So, yeah. Anyways, I can't wait to hear from you guys about this. So, until next time, this is Jason, and I will see you on the next episode of the Wampa's Lair.